What's up, friends? Welcome back. It is week 9 of our Heal You Bloom podcast series. And as always, your girl Shy is here, and I am so grateful that you are here sharing this space with me. So let's start with something different this time. Let's start, friends, by taking a deep breath. Yep, right now. Come on, with me. Inhale. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Now exhale. How about we try it again? Inhale. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Now exhale. How did that feel, friends? Your girl Shy is a little under the weather today, so don't mind me if I sound a little raspy. You know, sometimes we're so busy moving from one thing to the next that we don't even remember to check in with ourselves. So before we get into today's episode, I want you to take a moment and think, how are you really feeling? I want you to give yourself that answer that you would give to someone else in passing, but truly the real, honest truth. How are you feeling, friends? Right now, in this moment, how do you feel? You know, there are times when we feel lost, disconnected, or just uncertain about what's next. And I want you to know that you are not alone. And today we're going to talk about how to reconnect with ourselves, gain clarity, and step into our purpose. It's week 9, y'all. 9th week. And last week we explored reclaiming joy, finding happiness in the small moments, even in the midst of chaos. But here's the thing to remember. Joy feels distant when we're disconnected from ourselves. It's hard to fully embrace happiness when we're unsure of who we are or where we're headed. So let's get into it. Grab your journals, your Bloom journal if you have one, a cup of something warm. I'm gonna grab my tissues to help me stay focused. And let's begin to take this journey together. Ready? So what does it really mean to reconnect with yourself? What does it really mean, friends, to reconnect with yourself? So let's be real. Life has a way of pulling us in a million different directions between work, family, responsibilities, and the never-ending list of things we should be doing. We can lose sight of ourselves. Have you ever just taken the time to look in the mirror and thought, who am I? Really? If so, friends, you are not alone. Reconnecting with yourself means returning to the core of who you are. It's really about getting quiet enough to hear your own thoughts, the mental things that happen here, listening to your heart talk to the mental, identifying what truly makes you happy, not what others expect of you, but what makes you happy, and letting go of distractions and old versions of yourself that no longer fit. Let me share a real-time example with you. You know, lately I've been reflecting on what really fills my cup. For me, it was really easy to get caught up in routines, the previous commitments, and just doing things out of habit. Every day is like a repeat of the next day. So much so that I forgot the days of the week because every day felt like a Monday. But I had to stop and ask myself, is this really bringing me closer to the life that I want? Is it really pivoting me in the direction that I need? And that's where clarity started to sink in. Here's a reflection question for you, something to write in your journals. When was the last time you felt deeply connected to yourself? Can you remember what you were doing? And where were you? Write that down in your journal and take a moment to write about it. Because now, friend, it's time to start uncovering what truly lights you up. How do you know when you're disconnected? Do you know? Do you know what it feels like? Sometimes we don't even realize we've lost touch with ourselves. We're just moving through life, going through the motions, wondering why we feel stuck. I just talked about it. But there are signs. There are signs if we're willing to take the time to notice them. I like to call these signs our own internal red flags. And here are a few ways you might feel or identify that you're disconnected from yourself. You feel like you're just existing, not really living, going back to that every day, the routine, just doing the same thing over and over again, to the point where I was feeling like every day was a Monday. I didn't know Monday from Tuesday from Wednesday, and it just kept repeating itself. Or you're constantly busy, but you don't feel fulfilled. Like you're just doing things to take up the time to make sure you get through the day and say, oh, I accomplished something. I had a busy day. Hmm. But do you walk away from that feeling fulfilled? You struggle to make decisions because you're unsure of what you want. You have a lot of stuff going on in your mind about things you want to accomplish, but you can't really focus on what you really want to accomplish. A lot of tasks and things you add to your to-do list because it sounds as though it's where you want to go. But how do you make the decision of where you want your next step in life to be? You're unsure about the decisions that you want to make. And finally, you feel drained, uninspired, or disconnected from things that once brought you joy. People, places, or things. Actions, things we used to do all along. I've had moments like this where I was doing all the right things, but I still felt off. And if I'm being honest with you, friends, sometimes it's because I've been operating on autopilot instead of taking the time to be intentional about what actually matters to me. That is when I realized that I needed to pivot, that what satisfied me yesterday does not satisfy me today. Think about it, friends. Have you ever felt that way? Are you in that moment right now? Take a moment to check in with yourself. If any of you feel as though this resonates, that's okay. There's good news. Awareness is the first step towards reconnection. I want you to take just a few moments and write down the areas of your life where you feel the most disconnected. Is it in having a routine, being able to get up? Is it working out? Is it taking time for yourself to connect with who you are? Is it finding things that you like? And then think about, after you write those down, what do you think is causing you to disconnect? Good stuff, huh? So, how do we reconnect with ourselves? How do we learn what makes us tick? What makes us continue to feel fulfilled? Now that we know the red flags, let's talk about how to actually reconnect with ourselves. And listen, nothing about this has to be complicated. Sometimes it's the smallest shifts that can make the biggest impact on where we want to be. And here are three powerful ways that you can work on reconnecting with yourself. Spend time alone, no distractions, no scrolling on your phone or catching up on emails or watching some ratchet TV, but real alone time, friends. Take a walk without music. I like that one. Just listening to everything and the sounds around you is comforting. Sit in silence or simply be with your thoughts. You know, when I'm feeling as though I need to connect with myself, I like to close my eyes just like this and just sit just like this in silence. My therapist taught me about this exercise. Sit in silence and just tap. No particular beat, no particular order. Just tapping, tapping, and allow everything to come to the center of your mind. Allow your brain and your heart, your thoughts, your breathing, everything to align. Tapping exercise is something that really got me through a lot of the need to center, relax, and have alone time. You know, when's the last time, friends, you gave yourself permission to just be? Second thing, revisit what you loved as a child. Think about it. When we were younger, before we had all of these responsibilities, expectations, or the worries of the world took over, what was it that you loved to do as a child? Was it singing, coloring, moving your body, drawing, laughing? Sometimes the things that once brought us joy are still right here inside of us, just waiting to be rediscovered. And lastly, check in with yourself every day. Instead of just asking, what do I need to do today? How about asking, what do I need today? Today, do you need rest, creativity, connection, quietness, socialization? Give yourself what you need. Fill your cup, friends, before you start pouring into everything and everyone else's cup. All right, here's your real time check in right now in this moment. What is one thing you need today? Say it out loud, or if you can't say it out loud, write it down in your journal and then honor it. Focus on it. Give it to yourself today. All right. Now let's move on to gaining clarity and finding purpose in what we do. Once we start reconnecting with ourselves, something shifts. The pivot starts to happen. We begin to see our purpose more clearly. We understand where we're headed. And I want to be clear, friends. Purpose isn't about having all the answers or knowing exactly what your life should look like. Purpose, true purpose, is about aligning your life with what feels meaningful to you, not anyone else, but you. You know, your purpose is found in things that light you up inside, make you feel all giddy and warm. Purpose is allowing you to help others in a way that feels natural versus forced. Purpose is making you feel alive instead of just going through the motions of the day to day, the everyday norm. And me, I've had moments where I thought I had it all figured out. Lord knows, only to realize that in order to continue to grow and continue to bloom, I needed to pivot. And what I've learned throughout the years is it's okay to have to pivot because clarity comes when we allow ourselves to evolve. Clarity comes, friends, when we allow ourselves to evolve. When you think about who you are right now, ask yourself, what is one thing I feel called to do right now? Doesn't have to be life changing. It could be as simple as writing more, showing up for yourself, or creating something new. But friends, we have to listen to that nudge. When I was working on this new pivot and I was trying to identify something that I needed right now, this series, the Bloom 52-week journal, is the nudge that I received. It wasn't in my planning. It wasn't a part of my expectation. I received the nudge that I needed to do it right now. And look at us. We're in week 9 and we're working through this together. And it's helping me to evolve. Week 9, friends. Oh, we made it. We're here. And I want you to know that reconnecting with yourself isn't a one-time event. It's a journey, a practice, a daily commitment to choosing you again and again and again. And friends, over this next week, I encourage you to slow down and listen to yourself. Take the time you need to reflect, to just sit in silence and be quiet, and make space for clarity for you. If you need to stop and slow down, stop and slow down. Because when you truly connect with yourself, everything else in your life starts to align. All the pieces of the puzzle start to shift and connect. And you owe it to yourself to give yourself the reconnection that you need. All right, week 9, here we go. Next week, we'll be talking about building a life you love, creating alignment in every area, every aspect of who you are. But for now, friends, I'm asking you to do just one simple thing, and that is honor yourself. Make space for what matters to you. Find clarity in what you need. Identify what your purpose is. Reconnect with yourself. And more than anything, make sure you keep blooming. All right, friends, I'll see you next week.